China Southern A350 absolutely stacking it into the deck there. Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're starting again where we were last time really. We are at Terminal 2 at Manchester, Terminal 1 at Manchester, but this time we're not going to be doing the same flight that we did last time and very dramatically failed at last time. We're going to be doing this today. We're going from Manchester to Heathrow for British Airways. We're going to be in the Airbus A320neo and we're going to take the List 2S departure out of Manchester from runway 05 left and then on runway 09 left at Heathrow on the Hon 1H arrival. It's going to be a very simple flight, I hope, but one of the main points of this flight that's going to be of interest is the fact that we're taking off at 25 past 8 in the evening. It's due to land just after 9 PM, so we're going to be having a bit of an interesting time with the lighting here. It may get dark by the time we land there in Manchester. Flight conditions at the moment are lovely. These are the settings that I use anyway most of the time. Weather and everything is going to be live. AI air traffic, which we are going to have in terms of the injector, the FSLTL Injector, the FlyByWire machine thing, whatever it's called. Let's get on with it. Let's get on the ground at Manchester and start the A320neo up, shall we?
407 ready for straight-out departure at runway 05 right.
No.
Speedbird 1407 QNH, 30
No.
decimal 00 wind 101 at 7.
Oh, now it's frozen.
Straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 05 right.
No, we're not, because I don't want to be. We want to be on 05 left anyway.
Cleared for takeoff runway
She looks great.
05 right, Speedbird 1407.
But that's not what we're after, is it? Golf Tango Tango November Alpha is the registration of the aircraft. This is actually flight Speedbird 1407, which is taking place today. Not quite sure why it's... Not sure why the livery's in very, very low res. Bear with me here. Bear with me, for God's sake. One day this'll go right. One day this'll go right, I promise you. Ramp 16 parking is where we're taking off from, yeah? Sound. Go. Here we are then. With another game freeze at Manchester. It freezes every time I come in now and I'm not sure why. But eventually it's fine anyway. There she is, let the building, yep. Decide that it's got windows. And we'll jump into the cockpit, shall we? And have a look round and see what's what. Not that it's going to be any different to how it normally is. One thing I will do actually straight off the bat is I'm going to configure this camera. Look at that. It's a much nicer angle. See? Pretty. Very pretty. Anyway, one of the first things we have to do at this point is get the FSLTL Injector on, which will put the traffic on the ground for us around Manchester. We're going to keep the numbers and everything the same as they were last time. We just literally hit N and then it will connect to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So you'll see all the frame rate go to death. We've got a Lufthansa A321 next to us. There's another British Airways aircraft over there, an Austrian Embraer, and a bunch of other stuff as well, even down there at Terminal 2. Was that a WestJet? It's a WestJet 737 over there. So we're going to get back to our aircraft, which is Ode Madam here. And let's get her started up, shall we? So what we're going to remember to do this time, Chaz, is put the external power on first. Then the battery's on. Pumps all the way across, although I misclicked one of them. We're going to get the master switch on the APU as well. Seatbelt signs are on, no smoking signs. Let's get them on. We'll put our nav and logo light on. We need to get our ADAS aligning. Trying to think if there's anything I've missed that I would normally do here. Nose light doesn't need to go to taxi or anything at this point. I think we're all good. We're not going to have ATC again here because this is going to be just an offline flight again. I'm just flying the flight and ignoring everything that's going on around me. We're going to turn the screen brightness up on these things here because they were very, very dim last time. We've got enough fuel on board this time, which you'll be happy to know. We have 3,820 kilos of fuel on board, so we've got plenty. There's a little switch over here for the TCAS or something. Pretty sure everything's all set up there. That should be okay. Let's press this on the stick to reset where we are. We're going to go over to the iPad, get rid of the coffee. Don't drink coffee. And there we go. Manchester to Heathrow. 2025 Zulu were due to take off. 2125 Zulu. Apparently we're going to take off in an hour, but that's not right. We're an hour behind Zulu because of British summertime, but I don't think the game realises that. That is all aligned now, so we'll go down to the MCDU. We go to the ATSU page. Then we go to the AOC menu. Then we have an init press menu and init data request, which brings in the flight plan from SimBrief. We then go to init, do another init request there. That will add everything else in. There we go, Speedbird 1407, Manchester to Heathrow. Go to flight plan. There may be some discontinuities here because what we want to do is have... oh wow, there's a lot of discontinuity because it's literally got us straight to Hon. Although it does take us Listo straight to Hon, then it's Tobid and EGLL, so we just need to tell it what arrivals we're going to be doing. So departure is going to be runway 05 left, list 2S, transitioning via... oh, it won't let us do it. So we'll insert that into the flight plan. Lovely. We'll go down. Hon is straight after Listo, so that's not a discontinuity at all. Get rid of that. And then as we get to EGLL, we're going to be on the... it's going to be the Hon 1H on ILS 09 left. There it is, Hon 1H via BNN. Just going to make sure that that's correct on the charts, shall we? Doesn't look it. Let's just get it actually up on here so you can see this as well. So this is the arrival. We've got BNN, D178E, LAM 30, LA 34A. Well, it's got us going to LAM 30 straight away directly instead of going via D178E. So it gets us to BNN, LAM 30, and then is it LA 34, LAM 04, GWC 39, that's sort of right, CF09 left, FF09 left, and then we'll line up. So yeah, it matches up sort of. That's FF09 left there. So it'll take us on a very similar path, if not the identical one. I'm not sure if that's just a different air-rack cycle or something that's not quite adding up. We have got to start the APU. APU bleed is going on as well. That's what I forgot to do earlier on, wasn't it? And then we can start to plan our pushback, I believe. So we'll go up to this screen here. Pre-plan the pushback. We're going on 5 left, so it doesn't really matter which way out of here that we're facing because this is like a little cul-de-sac at the airport here at Manchester. So we'll just go for that, shall we? We'll try and pop it there. We'll calculate our descent and stuff a little bit later, which is something I used for the first time last time. APU is running. We'll get our lights on in just a second time, but it looks fantastic, doesn't it? Just a second's time, he says. Wing lights we don't want on. We want our strobe on auto. Yep, there. Beacon light on.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Please do. Let's request pushback. You gonna do anything? There's no pushback tug. There's an Embraer in. Where is the pushback tug? Is that something we'll have to do on here? Apparently the tug is attached. Parking brake off. Well, stuff it, we're going to do this one. Invisible tug time. Right, while that's doing that, we'll get the engine started, shall we? Engine number 1 is going on. That be some good noises. We're going to speed this up actually a little bit now. We're then going to turn to the right in just a moment. Would that take us that way? Yes. Just slow it down a little bit. It feels like it's taking forever, but I'd rather it do this than do it too quickly. Let's straighten up, shall we? And we'll come to a stop there. Parking brake on. Waiting for tug pin. See where we're at. Would you look at that? I've nailed it. We're right on the line. Okay, let's get some lights on and let's get this second engine started up, shall we? I'll put our camera in a nice close-up view for this. Ready? The textures may not be great on the right-hand side, but you can ignore that. Okay, right-hand engine going on. What a fantastic sound that is. So we have
Right,
APU on,
prepare for takeoff.
and we are now going to put our nose light to taxi. And I'd say that's us pretty much ready to go, wouldn't you? Let's just do one final check of something in the flight plan here, because I want to know what altitude we're going to go to. So we're going to have 2,000, 3,000. The aircraft probably knows this as well. These are the limitations here. Flight level 050 at Listo. Oh, that's 5,000, isn't it? 170 at Hon, which is most of the way down. So we're not going to be flying very high. 15,000, then 170 again for WCO. Okay, well that's all stuff we can sort later. Let's clear the initialized weight thing, because I know that we've probably mucked up on that. Okay, let's get taxiing, shall we? Parking brake is off, and we are taxiing to runway 05 left from Terminal 1 here at Manchester. There's an EasyJet A320 on its way in. Hopefully it doesn't want to come in here. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. What's this on the back of the stick? It feels all weird. No, they're all good. They're going past us there. So we are going to turn right down here. You can see an aircraft, I think, coming the other way, actually. Looks like we're going quite fast on the ground right now, but we're only doing 21 knots. It says down here on this tiny screen. 22, 23. It does tend to accelerate on its own, this aircraft, when it's on the ground. I'm going to come to a stop here, though, because I'm pretty sure... I know that it won't make contact with us, but I think that aircraft over there is facing this way. It is. It's a 737 coming this way. Now, I don't know which way that thing's going to go. Whether it's going to come straight down here or go that way. What are our options of going right? We don't have any at this moment in time. We could go this way. This isn't great, is it? I'm not very good at this, but I hope that's part of the entertainment for you lot. Is he turning left? I think it's Ryanair. Well, we can't turn right here, can we? Oh, no, we can. Oh, good, he's going left. Oh, thank God for that. So they're going right past the viewing park. Hopefully nothing else comes in while we're taxiing along here, because I feel like we may be flying into traffic with the way that we're going out here, but it's got us on 05 left, so we'll obey that. Say Ryanair 737-800, chinning up a lot of the ground with it as it goes. Good evening. Probably a bit close to that, really. We shouldn't have been that close, should we? And we're going to get down to 05 left. We're going to put flaps 1 for departure. We're going to turn the engine ignition off. And hopefully we'll get this right today. I'm really hopeful that we will. The speed, according to this, is 100. We want that to not be that. We're going to go right to the end of the runway. I'm trying to get that to click in, but it won't. And we're just going to gradually come to a stop here before 05 left. Parking brake. First port of call is going to be Pol 24. I'm just going to open my charts on the iPad and have a look at where that is. I'll also show you on here, actually. So Pol 24 is none of them. We're going to go Pol 28. I think it'll be the same thing. We'll go to 2,000 feet. Oh, Pol 28A, 3,000 feet at once. So we'll put 3,000 in here. Vertical speed, I don't really care. Speed on here, we can go no faster than 250 knots. We'll go 245. QNH is 290.65. According to that, we're on the ground. Get your words out, Chaz. Can't really find much else to say other than let's get on with it. I'll try and get a pretty shot of it lined up and ready to go, and then we'll crack on, shall we? There's a lot of big frame stutters going on, which is not confidence building, I can tell you. I do love how the stick behaves and the tiller in rotating the aircraft. It's not as straightforward as it was in the standard Microsoft Flight Simulator Airbus A320. Okay, so there's something coming in opposite us, so we're just going to sit here and pretend that's not what's happening. What time is it Zulu now? 19:30. We did say we were going to leave at 25 past 8, but the time difference has mucked up. There's an EasyJet A320 right down the far end of the runway there, which I'm really hoping isn't actually going to take off down there, or is more just going to cross over to 05 left, where that A320 is currently taking off. Bet it sounds good. Usually does. Yes, it does. Whatever was on approach is no longer on approach by the look of it. Either that or it's on the ground, but I think we're about to get an EasyJet A320 flying directly towards us. It seems like this traffic mod thing doesn't quite pick up what runways they're using, because I think there's a 737 for Jet 2 holidays taxiing down here to join us on 05 left. Ah, no, it looks like the 737's going to cross runway 23 right. Yep, they're going straight across actually. They're not even holding short as of right now. They're going ahead before the EasyJet 320 gets rolling. Oh, and now it's despawned. Okay. That's good news actually for us, because it means we can just get on with it. So, let's head down to Heathrow, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's check where we're getting on the throttles, because we want it on Flex MCT. That's exactly it. Let's keep it nice and straight. Let's go. Airspeed's alive and kicking. V1 rotate. Gear up. Flaps up. We're going to fly to the flight director on my screen down there. Nice. Nice and tidy little departure that. And now we need to bank round to the right. Follow the curve. We're overspeeding a lot. Lovely conditions though, eh?
$2,500.
Thank you. We're not descending, darling. Let's stick the autopilot on, shall we? Nice. A lovely evening outside of Manchester. Let's hop outside and have a look. Looking good. The aircraft's holding speed really well at the moment. It wants the levering climb. There you go. You can have your levering climb. We've got our altitude set, which is Pol 2AA. We're going to Pol 33 now, and the aircraft may take us up to 4,000 feet. No. So we want 4,000 feet by Pol 33, so we're going to crank that up one. There we go. She's going to climb now. And just like that, we get to nearly 4,000 feet. Next up, we're going to be going to Listo, which is going to be the next one. We're going to go to 5,000 feet now, so we're going to turn that up one, and then give it a click of the right-hand button, or a right click as it's known, and the aircraft's going to carry on climbing once again. Now we're turning left because we've hit Listo, and we've got quite a while now to get to Hon, which is 51 nautical miles, but they want us at flight level 170 up there, so we're going to crank up to 17,000 feet. Going to give it a right click, and the aircraft is going to manage everything from there. I'm going to put the barometric pressure on standard, and off we go up to 17,000 feet on our way down to Heathrow. Lovely jubbly. So we're climbing quite quickly at the moment, 4,900 feet up at the moment. So it's one hell of a climb, really. The aircraft is absolutely cracking on with it. It tells us that the seatbelt light needs to come off, but I don't think it does. Landing lights are on taxi at the moment, which we need to turn off. We've got our strobe and beacon on, nav lights on, and we can turn our seatbelt signs off actually for now. But everything, for now, touch wood, is going well. This is what I like. As you can see, we're starting to make progress on here now. We can start to calculate our descent as well, actually. So let's figure out how many miles we'll have. Let's actually just recenter the camera. How many miles will we have to get down? BNN, it wants us at flight level 070. Let's look at the charts for the arrival. So let's do this and put open chart overlay for the arrival. Let's go for the HON 1H thing. There we go. Flight level 070, max 220 knots. Stop it at flight level 150. So flight level 70 at BNN is the most important bit there for me. Target altitude, angle 3, 31 nautical miles we need to be descending. Thank you, iPad. So we need to start descending at, oh, new cruise altitude to 18,000. Okay. Yep, starting to climb, which is good. Thank you. So what did it say? 30... Ah, it's going up, isn't it now? So it's going to be 35 nautical miles, let's say, before the waypoint in question, which is BNN. 37 miles from Tobid. So just after Tobid we'll start our descent down, shall we? We're up to Listo now. On our way down to Hon, which is the next one. If we change the range on here, you'll see there is Hon and then Tobid, then BNN. Cool. Lovely evening here at Manchester. There's some traffic up there way off in the distance, with some tasty contrails just starting.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain
Oh.
speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As you begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley cards shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating to the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Didn't get a word of that. Just don't congregate in the front of the thingy. So, speed is at 245 at the moment, but I think if we hit this, there we go. It's going to get managed by the actual aircraft itself now, so it's going to go up to 290. So we're cracking on here. Listen. Sounds wonderful, doesn't she? So I'm not really sure what else to say at the moment. It's going well. Get rid of that coffee. We're not running out of fuel. We've used 400 kilos of fuel, but last time it went a lot worse, didn't it? Can't believe I did that. I'm still annoyed at myself and sad about the fact that I did that. 12 nautical miles now from Hon, as it says there. We've sped up now. The aircraft's holding height nicely. This is good. This is exactly what we want from Flight Sim. This is what I want to be able to do, is to get it right and not crash and so on. I know there's certain processes that I don't know or don't adhere to or don't get right, but it's part of learning. I want to just be able to do these bits first and then make sure I can go through all the processes of a flight and then do some more of the detail bits, the more detailed planning, checking the weights, doing checklists and stuff like there is on here. Like, I want to make sure that we can do all this at some point, but I want to just add to what I'm doing in time, and we'll get there in the end. Okay, so really soon we're going to have to start descending actually. At Hon we should be at flight level 180. Tobid we're going to be staying at the same. At Soppit we want to be at flight level 150. which is going to be the next one. So we're going to come down to 150, and apparently we're going to go back up to 180 again, but I disagree with that. It wants throttle at idle, I think. Is that what that means? Activate approach phase. No, this is the arrival phase.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as we have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach.
Now this is actually the right time for this voice thing, this announcement to come in, because as you will have remembered on the last flight, it came in at the wrong point because I had this crazy thing where the aircraft pitched up very suddenly, and then as I slammed the nose back down, the pilot automatically thought, oh, we're on our descent now. So just after Soppit, we're going to start our descent down to, what height was it again? We calculated on here, didn't we? 7,000 feet. 28 nautical miles it says on there. We'll get that planned in on here actually. Although it's already... Oh, it wants a lever back in climb, does it? Picky sod. Well, it's already got flight level 070 on there, so apparently we're already going down. Well, we'll get there eventually, won't we? We're at 13,000 feet now, coming all the way down to 7,000. To be honest, I think we don't need to be going down that quickly. I think we can maybe smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, that's actually working for us now, which is good. So we'll come down by 1,200 feet a minute. And then look, we're going to start our approach after that. So once we hit BNN, as I'll show you on the charts, that's when the approach phase comes in, basically. There's the holding point as well, which is that circle in case we don't have any clearance to come in, but obviously we're not talking to ATC. Do not proceed beyond BN and VOR without ATC clearance. Well, to you. Oh, our thing isn't showing. There you go, that's where we are. For some reason I hadn't enabled that on here, but we're coming into WCO now. There's another holding point there, as you can see. Flight level 150 is the maximum that we should be there, or it's telling us to be at 150 at Soppit, so we maybe should have adhered to that a little bit better. We're at 11,000 feet now, and I don't think we need to be doing 1,200 feet a minute down. We can do 1,000 instead. So this little green line here now has gone to 10 for 1,000 feet down per minute instead of 1,200, and the speed that it's trying to get us down to is 220. The flight is still managing the speed, or the autopilot is still managing the speed, which is what this dot means, and this is basically showing numbers now because we have sort of taken over control of those elements of the flight. Constraints, that's it. Flight level 7022 knots, that's cool. I forgot that you could do that on that screen. So 220 knots is our speed we're supposed to be doing over WCO, but we're already turning, so sorry. What is the height after BNN when we get to flight level 070? It's actually quite tame, all the way down to LAMO 4, where we get to flight level 060 and then 3,500 feet. So it's 6, 3.5, 3, and then approach, which is cool. We'll have a look at the Heathrow charts as well, because we need to know what we're doing when we land. We're going to be on 09 left, landing here, and we're going to be taxiing down to Terminal 5, all the way down here. So we're going to basically be on at Alpha all the way down, I think. It's going to be very straightforward. We'll try and go in one of these end gates here, I think, or some of these ones we'll have to see when we get there, but yeah, we're going to go all the way down to Terminal 5 via Alpha once we get in. Nice and straightforward, I think. That's the thing at Heathrow, there's a lot of taxiways, but when it's something like that and it's just one taxiway all the way down, it's very, very easy. Okay, so for BNN, we need to be at flight level 070. We're at 8,000 at the moment. We will be at 7,000 by the time we get there, and the aircraft knows that when we're at flight level 070, then we aren't going to go any lower. Apologies for the frame rate. I really don't know why it's been so bad these last couple of days. There's a green light shining down there for some reason. I think there's maybe an aircraft or something. As you can see, we're almost completely done with the flight, which surprises me. I know it doesn't take very long, but in total I've been recording for 52 minutes, so it's only a quick hop down here to Heathrow. My arm has got this horrendous long line in it now because I've been leaning on the stick the whole time. Let's get the seatbelt lights on. Any moment now we'll be turning right at BNN. Was that a beautiful shot, or was that a beautiful shot? I think very soon we'll put some flaps in when we get to some of these. We're going to now go to performance and then activate approach phase, confirm approach phase. QNH, we're just going to go 29902. That tends to be the number I see a lot. What are we looking like then? BNN, we're going to no, we're going to down the range of this. It still wants us in standard pressure actually, because we're above 7,000 feet, but oh yeah, I think it's telling us because we were in standard, that's why it's kicking off at us. Whoa. Yeah, alright. Turning right again now, towards the next part of the flight plan, which is LAM 30. LAM 04 is when we need to be at flight level 060, so we can stay at flight level 070 here. We're about to hit LAM 30 as the next waypoint. Bit of cloud down here at the moment. I'm not quite sure if we'll be able to see the airfield over there. No, it should be back that way. This is going to be the first time I've landed at Heathrow in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I'm looking forward to getting on the ground and seeing what it's like. One of the biggest and busiest airports in the world. I recently played with Heathrow on, well, in this video actually, on Tower Simulator 3. The airport will be coming to the game very soon as of the date that I'm recording this. That video went live just yesterday afternoon. Okay, we need to be at flight level 060 now, so we're going to bring her down. Why are you moaning? Shut up. Why is it moaning at me? I don't get it. What have I not done? Is it because we're not in standard? Now are you going to do it, or what? Now you're descending. You want lever in climb? It is. Well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong there, but that's obviously something that needs rectifying. We can put that on the list. Nice little left-hand turn now onto the next waypoint. We're going to then sort the range out on this again now, so we get a bit more detail. 3,500 feet by the next one, so we're going to bring that way down. Down to 3,500 feet we will now go to GWC 39. We'll get onto FF09C at 3,000 feet, and then Ode Charlie Boy here is going to take over flying the aircraft into Heathrow. We're going to go for a notch of flaps here, just to keep her stable. I'm going to drop the speed down as well now, which is good. We need to drop a lot quicker than that actually. We're at 5,000 feet still. 5,500 feet even. So pardon me, plane. Can we please get down? Because now we're getting onto the approach, so the runways will be just in front of us any moment now. I think you could see them in that last shot. They'll just be coming into view. There's 09 right, I believe, and 09 left is just in here somewhere. We really need to come down faster than this though, please, plane. It's going to kick off at me again now, isn't it, when I do this? No. We're alright, we're at 4,100 feet. This is going to be the time where Charlie D here is going to take the autopilot off. Straighten the controls. Get the gear down. Get the flaps down another notch. And there is the runway.
Please prepare for landing.
Okay. I am now in control of the aircraft. How terrifying is that? It's going to be my first recorded landing of an Airbus A320. Why is it telling me to put the lever in climb? I don't want auto throttle. We're not dropping much speed or any speed at all really here.
Traffic, traffic.
Yes, I know there probably is. Oh yeah, look at that on the way out on the right. A British Airways A380. So clearly the AI traffic is coming out on this side. We're going to go another notch of flaps. We're still very high here. We're at 3,000 feet, so we really need to bring it down, to be honest with you. I've got the throttle now completely off. You can see the aircraft landing coming the other way as well, which is brilliant. So obviously the AI traffic doesn't communicate with the game what's going on here. I'm going to leave this approach uncut for you so you can see all of it. You can see the rights and wrongs of what Chaz is doing. Still at 2,500 feet here, so we're on quite
2,500.
2,500 apparently, sorry. A lot of movement on the stick once again that you can't see on the camera because it's down here. We are nose down at the minute. Look at the spacing on that on the other runway as well. Something taking off just as something lands. That's cool. We've got 4 white on the Pappies, which are the white and red lights.
Traffic.
Yes, I know, traffic. Is that another A380 going out? It looked like something big. Should probably focus on landing, to be honest. We are still nose down here, but we're at 1,000 feet now. 1,000.
1,000.
It's a bit late to get a 1,000 call, isn't it? Still, we'll be alright. What I've not done is put the auto brakes on for medium. I've not put our landing lights on.
500.
Too low, terrain.
Yes, I know. We're pointing down, but we've
Too
got
low,
2
terrain.
white, 2 red on the Pappies
Too
now,
low,
which is
terrain.
good. Shut
Too
up.
low, terrain.
No one asked you.
Too low, terrain.
We're a bit low now. Frame
Too
rate
low,
is going
terrain.
to death because we're at Heathrow.
Too low, terrain.
Let's
Too low, terrain.
flare it out a bit
100.
early.
Too low, terrain.
100 already.
Too low,
Ooh,
terrain.
Shut up.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Retard. 5.
Wasn't so bad. We didn't get any 50, 40, 30 or anything. Don't need any reverse thrust or anything. We touched down very early. We're not going to be able to take this exit though, I'm telling you that for free. Not with my current control of this tiller. We've got an aircraft coming in the other way though, so we do need to expedite our leaving of the runway. Can't take this one because it's a high-speed taxi when you're coming in the other way. I think we've got one just coming up here where we can turn off actually. Oh, my bum is numb. Doing 45 knots here on the ground, so we need to slow her down a little bit. Frame rate absolutely dying to death as expected. Let's see what traffic we've got on the ground. There's a Qantas A380 sat there, which is lovely to see as soon as we get off here. And we're going to just vacate and come to a stop at this part of the taxiway here. There's a Turkish Airlines 777 there, a Saudi Arabian 777 as well. But welcome to London Heathrow, everybody. We have now landed. For some reason the overhead lighting is not on. Is that something to do with this? See, good at this, aren't I? So nose light to taxi. Strobe and beacon are still on. We didn't put our landing lights on, did we? That's probably what we got wrong. Seatbelt light remains on at this point, and now we just need to make sure that we're going on to Alpha, which is the taxiway down here. Good God, the frame rate. Singapore A380 there. There's another British Airways aircraft, but this is taxiway Alpha. We're going to go all the way down on that to the end, to Terminal 5. China Southern A350 absolutely stacking it into the deck there. But there's us in our low frame rate world here at Heathrow after a lovely landing. There's someone doing a low pass there as well. Let's get on with taxiing, shall we? Let's not linger around too long. Yeah, again, I'm not sure why the frame rate has been so horrible. I mean, look at it now. It's stuttering like mad. It's since I've started flying the fly-by-wire aircraft, to be honest with you, so maybe it's just a bit more CPU intensive than I thought. I think there's an A380 or something going out over there at the moment. Singapore A380 on our left here. Some lovely aircraft at Heathrow. That's one of the best things about going to Heathrow, is the fact that you get such a variation in planes. There's the tower in the middle as well. It's a great located tower, actually. From doing some of the stints I've done on Tower 3D Pro and Tower Simulator 3, I can tell you that it's awesome where the tower is at Heathrow, right smack bang in the middle of the airfield. I think it's above Terminal 3, or it could even be Terminal 4. We're just going to slow it down a little bit here because we're doing over 20 knots on taxi right now. I didn't mean to slow it down that much. Flipping heck, why did it come to a stop? There's a British Airways Airbus A350 on our left there, and now we can taxi down here. Continuing on, I think we've actually come onto Bravo here rather than going on Alpha. That China Southern A350 actually made that landing apparently. Top effort indeed there. Don't know how you did that, but somehow they got it stopped. Sri Lankan A330 there off to the left. Delta out there as well. Got a United 767 is that. That was the China Southern A350 skipping past us at 10 FPS. Let's slow her down, Captain, and get her in here. I didn't mean to come to a stop. Frame rate is causing delays with inputs and so on, so it's coming to a stop quicker than I want it to. Please tell me there's something not taxiing towards us. Oh, it's you. Move! So we're going to park down here at Terminal 5. I think there's a gate on our right hand side here that's vacant for us, which will be nice to get into. So we'll see if there's a line that we can maybe follow for it. I haven't told you to stop. We'll just have to try and turn onto this yellow line as best we can here. Frame rate isn't helping proceedings. Now I would go and do this from the outside view, but when you're in the drone camera you can't do this all manually and put the brakes on, so we'll come to a stop right about, well, the aircraft has decided that we're stopping there, but I think we go forward a little bit more. Parking brake on. Let's see how we did. Hey, that's pretty well lined up actually, isn't it? Give me that. Give me some credit on that one. Let's get her all shut down then, shall we? We've got our parking brake on. We'll just turn the engines off basically. That's going to be the first thing to go. Engines off. Let's get these seatbelt lights off now as well. And we'll get all of these lights completely off too. I think that's pretty much it, everybody. We will go over to the iPad though. God, this frame rate is terrible. Why is it so bad? And we will get the services out here. So we'll get the door open, get the jet bridge to come over. Yes. We'll get a fuel truck, we'll get a cargo door, baggage truck, because, you know, I don't like frame rate. And we'll get a ground power unit as well, get some wheel chocks on, safety cones, all sorts. And that's us here at Terminal 5 at Heathrow. I really hope you enjoyed that flight. It was a lovely little skip down from Manchester, much better than what we had happen last time. I'm going to work on these frame rate issues. I know the textures may not look fantastic or anything, but I've only got a little RTX 2070 that's working its bag off in there, so I'm sure it can be forgiven. But I think you'll agree that Microsoft Flight Simulator, even at 20 FPS or whatever it's running at now, still looks fantastic. And I've really enjoyed this flight, and I'm really glad that I managed to get it right this time and not crash into the French countryside. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Like I say, I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you again in the next episode.